Hey everyone, Squee913 here. Welcome back to Let's Play Assassin's Creed 3. Just a fair warning, this entire episode will mostly be me doing viewpoints and talking history about, the real American Revolution, how it started, etc., etc. If that kind of thing doesn't interest you, go ahead and skip to the next episode. Alright? So, let's find some viewpoints first. There's a viewpoint right there. I'm gonna get that viewpoint. Get this one right there. Need to set that up. So, the American Revolution. Admittedly, not my favorite part of history, but still a very interesting one. Oh my gosh! Look at all those dead people, or people hurt on the ground. It couldn't have been me. It must have been someone else. Some fiend. So, the American Revolution. Where do I start? Well, I suppose I should probably start at the beginning. So, between the Tigris and the Euphrates River, leave me alone, there is a very fertile section of land called Mesopotamia. And, what? What? I said I'd start at the beginning. That's the beginning. Oh, fine. I'll skip ahead. Ha! Yeah, I gotta outrun these people first. Whee! Alright, so during the Middle Kingdom of Egypt, they enjoyed relative peace and prosperity because they were surrounded by a bunch of natural... What? God, you guys just want me to skip everything, don't you? How in the world can you even begin to understand the complexities of the American colonies if you don't even understand the basics of the Egyptian Middle Kingdom? I mean, how? Fine. You know what? Fine. I'll skip ahead, but I am straight skipping past Cleopatra. No. You guys already ruined it. No Cleopatra for you. Do you guys mind? I'm trying to give a history lesson here. Well, I'm sure falling through those tree branches didn't break anything. Okay, so when should we really start? Probably with the 7 Years' War would be the apropos place to start. Many people in America know it as the French-Indian War. However, many people abroad... Oh, there's tons of names for the war, actually. There's like the Fourth Intercolonial War, and the French and Indian War, the 7 Years' War, the Great War of the Empire, I think was the name for it. Everyone called it something different, because it actually did involve a bunch of different people. But it started here in the Americas. Basically, after Spain discovered the Americas, everyone rushed to get land to make their own colonies. It wasn't just like Britain. Oh god! No, I mean everyone. Portugal rushed to make colonies. France, Britain, Denmark. I mean everyone wanted a piece of that. The Empire of Dave. No. Admittedly, the Empire of Dave was a bit smaller than the others, generally encompassing his house. But within that house, no one told Dave what to do. Not in his empire. Well, okay, maybe his wife told him what to do. She kind of wore the pants of the family. Actually, the real name was the Empire of Dave as his wife allows, but that was kind of long, so historians just kind of made it a little shorter. I'm so sorry. I'm completely rambling. No, so a bunch of people made colonies in Americas, but many of them failed. Denmark and Portugal and all that. They didn't really last too long. Portugal actually didn't make too many colonies in the Americas. They focused beyond the Americas to like Japan and stuff. But the main landholders were Britain, France, and Spain. And they constantly struggled with each other for territory and land and etc., etc. Gee, I sure hope there's a bale of hay down there. It really is a leap of faith. Oh, there's one. Oh, look, a chest. I'm gonna see what that does. So they were always squabbling over land and stuff, and eventually it came to a head. They were fighting over some rivers in Ohio or something. I don't remember their names, but it started a war, bit of a conflict. I'm gonna do this. I just push this around and rotate it until I get. Ah, there we go. No, don't. Okay. Then I rotate this around. Get a little. Ah! Okay. Yes. Yes. I did this to the innkeeper's daughter last night. Oh gosh. Oh no, it didn't even work. Oh, that's what I get for making cheap sex jokes. I'll never do that again. I'm sorry, game. I'm sorry. Teach me to be mature. Ah! Okay. Yeah, so where was I? Oh, yes. The 7 Years' War, as the world at large knew it. The French and Indian War, it was called that by the British colonists. What? What? By the British colonists in America. Because normally British people would name wars after their monarch. You know, like the King George War. But King George already had a war. There was already a King George's War. So they couldn't name it King George's War Take 2. What is going on? Oh, hang on. Someone I gotta go do something to. Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! There's something on my map. I gotta go. Where is he? Like a dog chasing cars. There he is. I don't even know what it is, but I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna catch it. So yeah, they couldn't call it King George's War again, so they just named it after their enemies, the French and the Indians. So the French and Indian War was basically the French and the Indians fighting Britain and the Indians. Poor Indians, poor Native Americans. They didn't really like anyone. And so they kind of a matter of who do we hate slightly less today? Who do we think will give us our land back if we support them? Which is sad because they never did get their land back. Poor guys. Who are you? Why are you running? Don't run. If you run, I have to catch you. See, I have no choice now. I'm gonna get you. I don't know what you are, but I'm gonna get you. Can I tackle you? I want to tackle you. Oh, can I tackle you? I need it. Can I tackle? Yes! I totally can tackle in this game! Hey! I can tackle you! Or not. I'm sorry. The man was running. What would you have done? Oh gosh. Come on. Come on! Oh gosh! Ow! Ow! With the shooting and everything. Ow! Oh gosh!
Clear shot.
Don't you dare! Ow! Ow! That's my calf! Ow! Not again! My calf! Come on! Oh, whoa! Whoa! Well, I didn't want to kill him, but that works. Whoa! Yay! Who's next? No, miss me. You shot your own man! You idiot! Oh. Oh, it's raining.
He's no fighter.
I am a fighter. See? I'm also a thrower. Come on. I'm also telepathic. No, not telepathic. Telekinesis, I think, is actually... Woo! Telekinesis is when you can control things with your mind, right? Yeah, that's what I am. Oh! And by the way, if you're in the middle of writing a comment trying to tell me what that was I chased down, don't. Either I will find out, or I won't. But let me find it out, please. I've already had tons of people trying to tell me, do this in the game, do that in the game. That's what this does. That's what... Don't. Please don't. You guys may be new. You may not know me when I play blind LPs, but I prefer to find all of these things out on my own.
I'm over here.
Very much prefer to find these out on my own. You stop that. Ha ha! Have a seat.
Back here. Help it. Get it.
Man, stop shirking me.
Don't lose sight of him. Look.
Bam! Take that. Now stay down. Alright. Where was I? Let me get a drink. I know you guys are just excited and you want to help me and you don't want me to miss out on this or that and you want to tell me how to do this or that. But unless I specifically ask, hey, what does this do? Or please explain this to me. Don't. Please. Don't tell me anything about, oh, you need to make sure to do this, or, ooh, don't miss out on that. Just please don't. I feel sad every time someone does that. And a fairy dies.
Killing's fresh.
So,
I need to get away from here.
think of the fairies, people.
I don't want anything to do with that.
Where was I? French-Indian War. Okay, yes. So why am I talking about the French and Indian War and not the American Revolution? Well, because they have a lot to do with each other. The French and Indian War was the French and Indians versus Britain and Indians. And basically England won it. It was actually a worldwide conflict. But England or Britain pretty much won because it's the whole empire, not just England. They won the war. Okay, there we go. And but it almost bankrupted them. It cost almost all of their money, and they had a lot of trouble recovering from that war. And they decided, okay, I'm really confused here. What is going on? I'm so confused. I broke the lock. Again, don't tell me. I'll figure it out. Come on. Come on. I'm just going to keep doing it. That's what it is. I keep stopping too soon. Okay. Oh, there's another guy. There's another guy. I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. I found out I can tackle in this game. Amazing. I'm a-coming for you. No, don't you run from me. I'm going to find out what you are eventually.
Leave me back, I say.
No! Hiya! Ha-ha! Take that, man of something. I'm sure you're very dubious, though. Where was I? Yes, so to make up, to try and help recover from this very, very costly war that Britain suffered through, they decided that they would tax the colonies. Well, let's be fair. It's a pretty logical conclusion to come to. Hey, we saved your butts during the war. We're practically bankrupt to save your way of life. Perhaps you might want to help recoup the expenses, but no. We were like, no, I don't think so. You have to understand, though, one thing that people don't quite grasp is that the American colonies, they were colonies of Britain. They were part of Britain, but they weren't really the same as you and I might think. Like, for 150 years or so, give or take, a few decades, they'd pretty much been ruling themselves autonomously. Britain had never taxed them. They had their own elected officials, their own form of taxation, their own everything. I mean, they controlled themselves because Britain just didn't want to deal with it. They were like, what? They can handle their own affairs? Great. Just let them do it. As long as they give us trade, that's fine. So all of a sudden, after 150 years, so it's not like, you know, the United States government telling Texas that it's going to be doing a new tax. It's not like that. It's pretty much like after 150 years of ruling yourself, they suddenly tell you, "No, you can't do that anymore. We need your money." Now, again, I think it was a fairly logical decision to come to, and to be honest, the Stamp Act was not really that excessive. It was not a heavy tax. I guarantee you, our forefathers were not revolting because this tax was breaking their wallets. I promise you. They were upset because of the ideal of it. The slippery slope. Well, first it's a stamp tax. Next it's our firstborn children, because governments would go that far. Because, when someone enacts a policy you don't agree with, you must naturally assume that it's going to go to its worst possible conclusion. Whee! So, the American colonies threw a hissy fit and started boycotting goods to Britain, which made it worse because Britain was trying to get money from these people. And, oh, hello, what is this? Hello? I'm an open door. What's in here? Is this the general store? Benny! I missed you, Benny.
Can't talk right now, I'm afraid.
No! Okay, fine. What about you?
To business.
Is there anything I want from you? Normal weapons. Normal sword. Ooh. Oh my. Oh my. So it has good combo, good speed, not great damage. French rapiers, better combo, less speed, more damage. Ooh. Better all around. Better all around. Better all around and not that expensive, actually. Hanger sword may be less elegant than many other swords, but its hand-to-hand efficiency will certainly overcome its lack of fancy details. The bashing and brutal blade is gently curved towards the tip. The simple handguard extends over the knuckles of the handle. French cutlass. A coty sword. Derived from the French word couteau, the shorter hanger sword is essentially one big knife, made especially for hunting. It can also settle things down when tempers flare. The hilt is made of wood and covered in leather. Okay. What do I want? That is way too much for me, plus I wouldn't want it anyway. That is also way too much for me, but man, I would like it. It's cool. And that's what I have. Oh, I'll stick with what I have for now. Firearms? That's all I have. It's my only option. Consumables. Cartridge and smoke bombs. I need none of these things. You failed me, General Store. You failed me. Can I leave? I'd like to go now. Yes, so they started boycotting goods from Britain, which caused more problems because they were losing more money than they were gaining from the tax. So the merchants in Britain, wrong button, started pressuring them to repeal the Stamp Act, and they did. So it was like, yay, victory for our side. But Parliament in Britain was rather upset by this because they were basically thought that, from their point of view, the American colonies were behaving like little children. Look, if we give you a tax, pay it. Stop complaining about it. Other citizens pay it. So they were rather upset by being told what to do. And didn't take very long before they had made another tax. I forget what it was. There were actually a lot of taxes. The only famous ones that we think about are the Stamp Act and the Tea Act. The tea tax, but there were tons of them. There were like 5, 6, 7. There was a huge succession of these things, and every single time it was the same old story. They would enact a tax, the American colonies would whine, and the act would get repealed. Round and round they go. Until they got to the tea tax. the Parliament had finally gotten really sick of getting pushed around by the American colonies, and they decided to hold firm on the Tea Act. They were like, the tea tax. They're like, nope, that's it. We're holding firm. We're gonna tax your tea and deal with it. Well, gosh. Oh, wow. So, of course, the American colonies, the whole slippery slope, you can't have our firstborn. Well, okay, maybe that firstborn, because no one really likes him. He's not very popular. But our secondborn, you definitely can't have, because we did that one right. Wow, what great parents they are. They realized that their original tactics weren't working. And decided to dress up rather badly, I might add, as Native Americans and raid the Boston Harbor and throw all the tea overboard, and thus we get the Boston Tea Party, which wrong button again, which of course is famous. Famous, I tell you. I believe it's also now a drink.
Bringing Boston, Philadelphia, and New York.
So, what am I talking about? Boston Tea Party. Stuff happened. It was cool. I wonder if we'll be part of that in this game. Ooh, maybe. So, yeah, after the Boston Tea Party, the King George finally got involved. Parliament had been hitting their heads against the wall for a while, these unruly colonists not doing what they're told, and now this was an insult. This was an insult. This was like, the children are behaving way too much. Oh my god, no, I'm gonna die. Oh, totally did that on purpose. You guys fooled, but I knew exactly what I was doing the whole time. I really gotta stop pressing down the A button. I'm so used to playing the other Assassin's Creeds. So King George finally got involved and said, "This is no bueno. This is no bueno. Me no comprende why they beef, yo." That's really bad Spanglish. So they sent a militia. Well, no, not a militia. I'm sorry, a regular army to Boston of about 1,000 soldiers, which doesn't sound like much to us because we're very populous. But if you gotta think about it, the population of Boston was like less than 20,000 people, much less, I think, at the time. So you're talking about like 10% or more of the population was now soldiers. Could you imagine if in your city 1 out of every 20 person was a soldier? That would be crazy. That would be insane. That is a large, huge occupying force. And the Bostonites didn't appreciate it for some reason. They were like, yo, we don't, this is no bueno. This is also, no bueno. And they were very, very upset, and especially because you have to think about it. They had to feed and quarter these soldiers. These soldiers were basically thrust upon homes and said, "Hey, guess what? This guy is staying in your room." "But we don't have a spare room." "You do now. You're sleeping on the couch." "Oh, and you got to feed him too." "Oh, and his clothes need mending, so if you could take care of that as well." "And he's a bit of a drunk, so yeah, have fun." And nowadays, at least in most countries, this kind of thing would be unheard of. You would never have to deal with something like this. But they did. And so it was a grave, grave insult to them. And they didn't like it. And things started getting worse and worse. And Bostonites, I don't know what else to call them, Bostoniers. I like Bostonites. They got more and more upset. Until one fateful night, much like this one, except it was colder. This is really cool. It rains. It's never rained in an Assassin's Creed before. Has it? Wait, let me think. No, it hasn't! Look at that! I did it! I see you! I see you! Oh god, no! Oh god, no! No, 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 no! There was supposed to be hay! Or something. There was supposed to be some sort of hay or thing. A bobber. No, he's gone, isn't he? Gone. Gone forever. Still don't know what that guy is. I think he might be like, hang on, I'm gonna go to my HUD. Is my, notoriety on? It is on. What happens if I turn it off? I was thinking maybe it was a guy that, you know, helps me reduce my notoriety. But I don't even see my notoriety, so how can I tell if it's, because those guys usually didn't show up until I needed them. So maybe he's something else. It will tell me eventually. That's one thing I do have faith in this game. Is maybe not this, because this seems like, you know, kind of the prologue-y. This whole Hatham thing. I know he's not my main guy, so this is all kind of prologue-y, stuffy things, and it'll explain it sooner or later. Hang on a second. Oh, I sneezed. Sneezed really hard. Hurts my chest a little bit. Oh man, I have got very forceful sneezes, and so forceful that my actual, like, my muscles in my chest and shoulders and stuff, they contract so hard that they will ache for a few seconds after, sometimes. So, but, tell you what, it's a lot better than them sissy sneezes a lot of you girls have. You know? I mean, seriously, what is that supposed to accomplish? The whole point of a sneeze is to clear out your nasal passage from some sort of blockage. That ain't gonna clear out a piece of lint from a hallway. If I've heard mouse sneeze harder than that. Okay, I'm sorry. It is cute, though. It is undeniably cute. Maybe that's the whole purpose. And the sneeze, maybe that's what it was. Sneezes were designed to be cute. And then just for some of us like me, they got it horribly wrong. Oh my god, that's not cute at all. That's hideous. It's like, okay, guys, I invented a sneeze. Oh, I can do that too. People getting blown away. Okay, you know what? History. Supposed to be talking about history. So, one night in Boston, the people were tired of the taxing and the militia and all that stuff. They were heckling two British soldiers that were standing guard outside of somewhere. I don't remember where. I think it was the governor's house or something like that. Anyway, it's not important. Yay, there was hay that time. Oh, and by the way, I have listened to your comments. I will play the board games. Not right now, but at a later time. I do plan on playing them and getting better at them and stuff. But, yeah, so, oh, and by the way, this whole episode is going to be, like, I'm going to keep this episode running until I get all the viewpoints, so that, you know, so this might be like an hour-long episode, just because I want to separate this from the rest of the episodes, in case anyone doesn't want to listen to all this jibber-jabber. This jibber-jabber, yo! So, anyway, they were heckling the two British soldiers, and the heckling started turning into shouting, and hurling snowballs and other stuff. Okay. Hey, how about you get up in that roof there, buddy? No? No, you don't want to get up in that roof? You too good for it? Fine. Okay. I can't get over this rain. It's awesome. It's never rained in Assassin's Creed before. Totally awesome. Why are there people outside? What is wrong with this town? How do I get over there? Oh, fine. I'll jump down. Whee! Okay, so They started throwing things at them, and those two guards understandably got scared because we're not talking about, you know, the kind of heckling that people do to British guards today outside the Queen's Palace. No, 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 no. We're talking about really hateful, spiteful stuff. And these soldiers really did fear for themselves. And so they got more soldiers. I gotta go chase him. I gotta go chase him. I don't know. Oh, I am so sorry, my lady. Okay, I'm not that sorry. Whoa! You guys all missed me. What is your problem? I was literally standing right there. Oh! Hey, ow, ow, ow. Ouchie. Yeah, da, da. Aha!
I've got a good line on him.
No, you don't.
Got him sighted.
No, you don't. Have a fall. Oh, I am trying to teach stuff here, people. Trying to make this an educational LP, but you keep wanting to turn it into mindless action. Shame on you. Shame on you. YouTube's audience is full of intellectuals, not action junkies. Know your audience, honestly. Come on. Come on, Cletus. Have a seat. Oh, I kicked him in the spine. I'm gonna loot him. I have also noticed that my health regenerates automatically, therefore I no longer need to have a health bar or worry about medicines or anything like that, which is nifty. I actually like that. It makes the game a little bit easier, which I don't like, but I like the idea that I can have a more minimalistic HUD now. I like that. Okay. So, they called more soldiers, fearing for their lives, and more of a crowd gathered. And you had a crowd of about 20 or so citizens, I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but really getting abusive and dangerous and violent and throwing snowballs and rocks and glass bottles and truly kind of freaking these soldiers out. And some of the soldiers panicked and they shot. And let's be fair here, you know. Let's look at this in light of truth. You're surrounded by a hostile city, and by a mob that outnumbers you immensely, who are shouting insults and violence, and you really are fearing for your life. Yeah, can anyone really blame them for panicking and shooting? I mean, I guess you could. I would hope I wouldn't do that, but it was an accident waiting to happen. It was inevitable. Someone was going to panic, and they opened fire into the crowd, and they killed 5 people. Far from an actual massacre, but they did kill 5 people. And the Britain newspaper had a field day with it and called it the Boston Massacre. And oh my gosh, it was crazy. They murdered like hundreds and killed puppies with their boots. It was just awful. So yeah, this went out to the rest of the colonies and enraged them. I mean, really enraged the colonists, which, of course, you know, if all you have to read is what the newspaper said, you would have thought the British were horrible cookie monsters, where the cookies are your children. So, this, what? Yeah, okay. A little bit awkward. Oh, nope, nope. Where's my next one? I got 4 more viewpoints to go. What is this? This is an almanac page. Ooh. 4 more viewpoints to go. You're way over there, huh? I wonder if Hatham's compadres are like, I wonder where Hatham went. Did you guys hear there's some crazy guy running on rooftops last night? tackling random people. Okay, so, where was I? Boston Massacre. Oh, yes. So, Boston was enraged. All the colonies were enraged, but Boston especially. And they called for, the hanging of these soldiers. And there was supposed to be a trial, and believe it or not, they were trying to find who could defend these soldiers in this mob, this town that was basically becoming a lynch mob. Who would be brave enough to defend them? And actually, it was one of the country's most ardent patriots, which was John Adams. John Adams. He was a young lawyer and a huge patriot. Loved the colonies. Even at that time, I think he was all for freedom. Maybe not. I don't know if he'd come to that far yet, but he was a huge patriot and all for freedoms and autonomy, etc., etc. But he was also for a thing called the law. Like Judge Dredd, he was the law. And, he believed that, if we don't give these guys a proper trial, if we just lynch them, what good are we? So he actually defended them. And, he was the perfect choice because anyone else who defended these people would have been accused of being, sympathist or sympathizer and hating American freedoms and all that stuff. And Boston Common. I want to see what that is actually. Where's my database? I don't want to leave the Animus yet. I want to see my database. Boston Commons. This has the honor of being the first public park in North America. It started off as Pasture William Blackstone, or Blackston if you prefer the original spelling, who, despite his name, was the first white settler in the area. When Boston started growing, Blackstone decided to move somewhere else. I thought it was like a... Oh, okay. Here we go. For the first century or two of Boston's history, it was a place to pasture your cows, drill soldiers, attend occasional public hanging. That's very cheerful. Or perhaps simply take a walk near all the cows and hay. The British left the camp when they fled the city in 1776. Public hangings ended in 1817. The cows were banned in 1830. You can still walk here, however. But what's the point without the cows? Oh, Sean. I love you. Just wish you talked about Lucy. It's kind of an elephant in the room that I wish we could kind of clear up, but whatever. So, John Adams not only defended them, but did such an admirable job. I mean, this man, I would love, of all the court cases ever in the history, I would love to have seen this one, because this town was ready to crucify all of those soldiers. I think there were around 20 involved. And he managed to get most of them, all but 2 of them, pretty much let go, free, free of whatever. I think they had to go back to Britain was their biggest thing. Like, you got to go home. And 2 of them, I don't think they were hung. I think they got life in prison. Could be wrong on that. But anyway, only 2 of them really suffered, the 2 that opened fire first. And, whoa, what is this? Hello. Not sure I wanted to, Oh gosh. Okay, good. No. Bad Hatham. Go back over here. There you go. Stop jumping onto the witch's cauldron. So, even though John Adams was able to get most of these people acquitted, Boston was still livid. And England was livid too. Because they thought the exact opposite. Look at all these barbarians. Trying to try our soldiers and hurting our soldiers. I'm sure I'm trying to do both sides justice here. But anyway, so basically Boston was a hotspot, a huge hotspot, and King George was like, you know what, enough is enough. That's it. These unruly peasants are being a huge thorn in my side. I mean, for pity's sake, they're my subjects. They should just do what I tell them to do and be happy about it, like everyone else does. Except the French and the Holy Roman Empire and those darn Prussians. But besides all of them, so they sent even more soldiers, and Boston almost basically got locked down under military rule. Which, of course, was the absolute worst thing could have done. You're making the Boston Knights even more upset. Aha! Go up. I'm really curious how much of this is going to be covered by this game. Like, will I see the Boston Massacre or the Boston Tea Party? I rather think I will. But who knows? My neck. Oh, my neck. Oh, only one more viewpoint. One more viewpoint, then I will go ahead and end this episode. And then I think next episode I'll maybe go play some board games or do some vigilante stuff. Something. But whatevs. One more viewpoint and we'll end this episode. And, so, yeah, like I said, Boston became a hotspot. Oh, those crazy Bostoners. And they pretty much got to the point where they knew that, you know, it was gonna go down. Spit was gonna go down, yo. Feces were going to go in a downward direction. Honestly, I'm really curious. I want to look this up now. It's a hobby of mine to look up where sayings come from, and I really gotta go look up where the shit's gonna go down comes from. Is there some sort of, like, farming animal reference here? Like, maybe it rolls downhill, and then, I don't know, the people at the bottom of the hill are the ones that... who knows? I'll have to go look it up, because it interests me. Anyway, I'll continue this later, because this is the last viewpoint. I'm going to synchronize it, I'm going to end the episode, and then I'm going to do stuff. So, more history lessons later. And of course, as always, if you're enjoying the history, let me know. I will only do them for so long as people enjoy listening to them. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end this episode here, all incognito, dressed up like a haystack. And I will see you guys next time. Ta-ta.